to be the first one to win this award, and obviously you know what Mr. Payton means in Chicago, I will carry your family's name with more honor now that I'm retired, more than I did when I played. I say I owe that to your family. That when Walter Payton Man of the Year, my name is mentioned, it's with the highest level of service possible.
What's up, everybody? I'm Peanut Tillman, and this is the NFL Players Second X podcast. And with me, as always, my trusted co-host, Roman Harper. Why you look so serious?
I'm not. I'm just ready to have a good time.
Why you look so serious?
Well, because you just yelled at me before we start. So I'm really excited about this interview. This guy's a legendary player. We all grew up watching him.
Yes.
From his college days at Florida State to his NFL career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And can't wait to sit down and talk to him about also what he's doing now in his second act. And I know it's going to be a great one.
14-year NFL vet, Walter Payton Man of the Year, NFL Hall of Famer, NFL all-time top 100 player. So that means he got two coats. he got the maroon jacket and he got the gold jacket.
Oh, it's a maroon jacket when you go that one?
Bruh.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I learned something new today.
It's like wine. It's a pretty dope color too.
They said it ages better with time.
Yeah, yes. And he's currently the guy when you get fined and you don't agree with the fine, you got to appeal it to this man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Derrick Brooks to the show.
Yes.
Thank you. My pleasure, gents. My pleasure.
Well, Derrick, man.
Get right into that one.
Yeah, I will jump right into it. I always talk about how I never thought that I would be in the media space, right? The media was always looked upon as the enemy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the angle they're coming at. And I'm wondering if you think the same thing. Because you're on the opposite side of it. You are now the person that says, this is determined if I ain't him out, this, that, and the other, we call you to appeal. Yes. Knowing that you used to be the one that was trying to call to get the appeal and all that other sentence. So how did you get into this job? Talk to us kind of like what exactly do you do or share with us?
Well, thank you. So I'm the lead, what we would say the lead appeals officer for the NFL. And this position is the only job that was created by the collective bargaining agreement. So I like to say there's no door closed to this position. No matter if you're NFL, NFLPA, our governing documents, this is the only position that's referenced. So from that standpoint, I'm truly neutral when it comes to the governing of the game in terms of the rules. And I always take a moment to explain to our fellow players. I tell them, guys, I played longer than I have been an appeals officer. So I do not fine. This position do not fine players.
We think you do.
I know, all the time. Because they say, y'all fine me. I say, let's define YALL. That does not contain DERRICK Brooks. So and again, when I explain to the men the position and how I take it serious, that this position is you to talk to me as colleagues. Let's talk about what the NFL said happened. And either I'm going to agree with the NFL, I'm going to disagree, or I'm going to agree, but you know what? It wasn't at the economic level that the NFL says it was, and we call that a reduce. And what I try to do in that process is keep the integrity and dignity that these men know, my colleagues, your voices not are being heard, but they're being listened to.
Yeah.
Everything you say and your agent and the Players Association, the attorneys, is going to get considered. Some things are pretty obvious. Then, you go, guy grabs a face mask, he makes a tackle. I tell the guy, it ain't about the obvious play. What I am listening to is to talk to you about the position you play and how you ended up in that position. Now, can you be a better player? So I treat it with that dignity, and I always make myself available. And I think this has really been key, in the 12 years I've been doing this. I don't run from decisions.
Yeah.
And I tell players, once you get my decision, if you disagree with it or want to discuss it, here's how you get a hold of me. I give them my emails because I want it on record.
Yeah.
and I give him my phone number. And I say, I will only talk to you as my peer. I won't talk to your agent. I won't talk to your representative. I'll talk to you because your money is being taken.
Yeah.
And every year during this time around the Super Bowl, that is the one compliment. Even when players disagree, they always come back and say, you know what, I disagree with you, Mr. Brooks, but I really appreciate how you treated me and I appreciate the conversation you had with me. And that's all I try to do in this position in service is real serve the men, serve the game, but do it with the highest level of integrity.
I got a question. Does anybody actually reach back out? Because
yes,
I know that's been brought up to
did.
me, and I was just like, man, like once it was over, I was either mad and just like walked away, still mad, or I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. They did rescind that a little bit. They knocked that down a little bit. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, but they do. And here's, I tell all the players, appeal everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't just willingly. You didn't willingly be in that position on the football field, so don't willingly give in to the prize. You've earned that right. Use it. And going through it, when they reach back out, it gives me a chance to have other conversations.
Right.
And that's really the secret what I really try to get to with the players. And guys do, when they reach back out, they say, we'll talk about the play. I'll give them my opinion. And then I ask them other things. How's your locker room? How are you doing? How's your health? Where you at in this stage of your career? A young player that I may see or know things, hey, you know what? You're playing the game a little, they could have done this, but they didn't. But let me warn you about this. The scheme you're playing, especially with linebackers, I love talking to them. Man, why are you lining 7 yards deep, man, when you know it's an obvious run? RPO, tendencies, what are you studying? I say zone defense, reading the quarterback, breaking on the football. Why are you backpedaling 5 steps when you can hop 3 and break lateral? I never thought of that. Yeah, how about try that? When you get a pick, Derrick Brooks charities will appreciate that. So it gives me, in a fun way, it gives me that other connection,
I like
to the players.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, when they do, then what tends to happen, guys reach out to me that don't get fined because their teammate has my information. So they end up reaching back out to me, and that's how I stay connected with the players.
Art Shell was I think when I used to get fined, Art Shell was my guy.
Yes, Art Shell.
Yeah.
Art was our
nothing was rescinded.
Art was. And I say, just like, obviously, your peanut punch. When players was getting fined for that, the rule says, obviously, they're throwing a punch. But now that's a part of the turnover technique. And I actually was writing in that about 4 or 5 years ago to the competition committee and Troy and his staff, hey, we need to look at this act very, very different. This is not the act of throwing a punch violent. This is a turnover technique that we need to really look at from the rules standpoint, look at and consider in governing the rules. So I get a chance through the position to make those recommendations. I tell the PA, here's what I think you guys should be fighting for when it comes to the players. Now, whether they do it or not, again, their choice. Whether the competition committee listens to me, their choice. But they see the decisions that are being made, by myself and prior to James Thrash. We write these recommendations. And now, like I say, just that turnover technique itself has really helped the players now. And then, obviously, we get players that abuse it on the other side. Oh, Mr. Brooks, I was just trying to do the peanut punch. Man, you swinging at the dude, Joe. The ball was nowhere near where you were going. But again, that's some of the things that goes on up under the hood with the position.
Now, since you've had this position, have you seen the fines go down?
Yeah, it has, and it goes in trends. So, for instance, we look at concussion data.
Right.
Concussion data has gone down, which is very good for everybody because now players are being more conscious in how they're tackling.
Right.
The defensive player side of me see the missed tackles.
Right.
3 times as much as a defender when I'm looking at defensive stats. So, and again, it's just certain areas. The hip drop tackle was the big thing last offseason. This season, you didn't see a lot of that in terms of the technique. And when it was happening, we had a chance to discuss how it was happening.
Right.
With a player momentum, with a player open field.
In these positions.
Positions, angles.
Yeah.
If you're coming up from behind versus coming from the side. So when they do those things and those rules go in, this process gives you a chance to go. Because there was a lot where John Runyan and his staff, they find guys. A lot of these was rescinded, by myself. And we had 3 new guys this year, Ramon Foster, Kevin Mawai, and Jordy Nelson. They all came on this year because it was a lot to handle for 2 people. But as I was bringing these guys in the process, they had a chance to have a greater appreciation too. I mean, it's silly. I ain't gonna say silly, but when you think about things like celebrations, and obviously, Roman, you're in this space with college football. You see these guys.
It's out of control in college.
Thank you.
That's where it starts.
Exactly.
You guys are trying to break the tendency now in the league.
Exactly. So how do you tell a rookie coming in, hey, you're not going to be able to, this is for to cost you money, these type of celebrations.
Yeah.
So I try to tell guys, you see that camera in the end zone? They want this content, but they want it as a unit. So now when you start to see defensive players, everybody run to the opposite end zone, those are guys that was listening to this process. Celebrate all you want, but let's do it with 3 or 4 other people.
Yeah.
Let's do it on your sideline. If you get a turnover on your opponent's sideline, man, run them 20 yards to the middle of the field, find your guys, and go to the end zone. Instead of turning around looking at their sideline. They know you made a play. You ain't got to show them. You ain't got to brag about it because you want them to come at you again so you can make another play.
Yeah.
So go find your teammates. So again, just that. When I'm talking about celebrations and how do we govern that. When the NFL content side, when they go post these celebrations for views, guys getting fined, it's a mixed message.
It is, yeah.
This process allowed those 2 to connect. Ops, you got to connect with the content team. You can't find guys if the content team is posting these things as, hey, look at the beautiful NFL, let's celebrate, let's get views, but it costs you $12,000. So this process allowed for more efficiency on their side.
Right.
Even to the teams.
Right.
Teams, you better be careful about posting this content because I'm a player, the team posts something I did and I got fined. I'm going to see the GM. Hey, man, somebody need to pay that. I ain't asked y'all to post that.
Right.
So it's better communication even amongst teams and content when it gets to the operation of the game.
That's a great point as far as we talk about the money, the content. Like I really hadn't thought about that. I see it a lot in college though. It starts now. Everybody's doing this celebration. They start flashing like that. That was the new one. That was just bananas to me this year. But I want to talk about some of the numbers, the actual numbers. I looked at some of this. So football in the stands. Now, is this being kicked, thrown? It's a difference, right, versus handed out.
Yes.
All right, if you throw it, fine.
Yes.
Right, if you kick it, fine.
Yes.
If you hand it, we're all good, correct?
Yes.
All right.
What about a toss?
That's
Great.
exactly what I'm saying.
That's
I can't really get it to my mama, but I want to, mama, this for you.
But
It's a gentle toss.
Now, and again, that's where in these processes, like with our process and what I do, I handle on-field playing stuff.
Yeah.
So when it comes to throwing the balls in the stands, that's another area with John Runyan and that crew handles that. But to your point, sometimes it's common sense intent.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
like that.
I just want to know, how did they come up with the numbers? So the first offense is $7,878.
Don't forget to change.
Yes. The next one, the second offense is $13,506. The one that's even crazier to me is the physical contact with the referee, which sometimes happens, should never happen, but, you know, it's an emotional game played by emotional people. So we know things happen. First offense, $39,501. Why the one? Yeah, I don't know. And then the second offense, $79,004. $79,004. How do you come up with those numbers?
And you forgetting the other one. They can suspend you.
Oh,
right off
you get nothing.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
That's the whole
Anything
game
the way that the rules are written, and they can go from 0 to 1,000 off the egregiousness of the act. So somebody runs and, say for 2-hand shoves a ref, you ain't gonna see those numbers. You're gonna see them out. So they have that jurisdiction, and those numbers are actually collectively bargained, negotiated.
Okay.
I thought someone just came up with a
Yeah,
number.
I was
one day.
like, $39,500.
It was playing like Wheel of Fortune was just laying on a number. Yeah.
They use these different formulas in negotiation with our players union, and those numbers are a direct reflection of what's in the CBA.
Okay.
The CBA, the fine schedule of the CBA.
All right. So how does that? So Rome and I playing different teams. I hit him, push him, whatever. He goes down. I get a flag. I get my personal foul. I know I'm gonna probably get fined or something like that. I'm gonna get a FedEx letter. Explain how the appeals process works.
So in that case, that act is going to be looked at by NFL ops staff.
Okay.
And I'll just headed by John Runyon, reports up to Troy Vincent. So they'll look at the egregiousness of what happened, what the referee report says.
Egregiousness, I beat him up real good.
Yeah, rather
you good.
You beat him up now, they'll look at what you did to instigate it and what level that caused.
Yep.
Second, they'll look at the response that he had in responding to that.
I knocked him out.
The third thing, they'll look at who came off the sideline, who chose to participate in said confrontation.
Okay.
Because remember, it also says in our rules, you as a player shouldn't run to the pile, let the refs do their job. So you come to that pile, you're getting fined.
That is a newer rule the last 5 years.
Yes. So, but this process, so you guys go through, you get the FedEx letter. Now you have 10 days to appeal.
Okay.
So usually your agent automatically appeals it for you. Within that 10 days, you get on a schedule of when you have free time, and we have slots that the agents or the player, when you log in, it'll show you slots of time based on your schedule to have the hearing. So every hearing is 30 minutes max, or some even go a little longer because I let players voice their opinion. So then we'll get a day and we'll get a time. So that day and time, you'll have all your representatives. You're able to have anybody on the phone represent you want. But typically it's a lawyer from the union, player, and represents agents.
Yeah.
And who they want. So we'll go through a mock hearing. So I'll get on the phone. I'll say, Peanut Tillman, appreciate you exercising your right to go through the appeals process. I'm Derrick Brooks, your appeals officer. Please know everybody on this phone representing you will have an opportunity to give me testimony regarding this alleged fine. And know that the NFL, a representative from the NFL office is listening in, but he or she will not speak. But you have the right to know who's listening to this appeals hearing. Please give me everything you want me to consider, and I go back and watch this play. You will speak first, your agent will speak second, the unit speak third, and then I come back to you to give me any final testimony after hearing everybody speak, because I want your word to be the first and the last that I hear. I'll read the letter. Now I'm going to read the letter. I read the letter, then I start. You first, get it right down here what they say. I'll come back to you, say, hey, are you satisfied with the representation you had today? You'll say, yes. I say, now, finally, once you get my decision, you have any comments, questions, concerns, please reach back out to me directly and let's have that conversation as colleagues. Email me so I want it on the record, Derrick.Brooks@NFL.com. Here's my phone number. You can call me. I will only talk to you. I will not talk to any one of these other representatives on the phone. Hearing's over.
Do you wear like a black robe when you have these conversations?
Nah. And then you get guys on that. I mean, we doing the hearing. We have like you.
Yeah.
Hey man, Roman did this. I say, now you actually think he was gonna have the advantage on you that caused you? Did something happen early in the game that made you feel?
Yeah.
So you my colleague.
Right.
So I want to hear from you.
Right.
For a reason. You'd have the first and last word for a reason. So attempt as best I can
Yeah.
to encourage guys to talk to me.
Yeah.
My favorite one is number one. You didn't rescind the one when I hit a quarterback one time.
But, you already knew what it was too.
He ducked, bro.
He did.
He ducked, and like I'm got my target, and then he changes his level.
He ducked, and he didn't have no adjustment time.
No, I didn't. It's fine. I ate that. It's fine.
I could tell you still bothered by that a little bit because he's like
he ducked. he chucked and ducked, and then I hit him. It's fine. It's whatever. My favorite one though is Merton Hanks. I had no white showing in my socks, so uniform violation. That was 5
I don't
grand.
handle those.
So I'm glad. Shout out to Merton Hanks. He took care of me because I was like, I had no white showing. I was like, why am I even? But my agent was like, dude, you gotta like just try and get it reduced, like whatever. I'm like, there's nothing to reduce. I had no white, like there's nothing. But he was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, why did I not have any white show? I was like, dude, it was Monday Night Football. He's like, I get it, dog. I got you. You got to shine Monday night. I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to give you half off. I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. Just for just hearing me out, working with me, the same thing you're saying. And just be like, you know what? Just be making the call. We appreciate it. I got a question for you.
Yes,
you mentioned this earlier. You talked about tackling.
Mm-hmm.
The skill level, the technique in tackling has not been as good as where you would see it or like it.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rate yourself as a tackler? Your technique, your ability to do it, and then what would you give young people kind of advice to trying to clean it up?
That was really one of my assets. I wasn't a hitter. I wasn't no big thumper.
No, you weren't even like that big of a linebacker.
No.
You were one of the first smaller will linebackers in that cover 2 scheme that really kind of made it more famous. And now all of them are that.
Everybody that. So I was on.
It's a great scheme.
Yes, it was on the cusp of changing the game. When I was coming along and coming in, yes, you wasn't the size of Lawrence Taylor's, Wilbert Marshall's, Junior Seau's. It was more the offense was opening up, back mid to late 90s. The ball was coming out. Offenses were scoring. You saw a lot of flex. You didn't see the big running backs. You saw the Marshall Faulks of the world coming in, the Edgerrin James during the time, Fred Taylor. So you saw a difference with that, and more teams were going to it. So for me, it was about playing in space. I wasn't a hitter. I was a tackler. I was a grabber, get you to the ground. A lot of my tackles were not against bigger players, against receivers, backs, tight end, obviously guys that's having the ball, but it wasn't at the line of scrimmage. It usually was in space. And then when I'm actually having to tackle in the hole, for us, it was about gang tackling. Mm-hmm. We had that philosophy, no one except a corner out on the island, and even then, no one should make a tackle alone.
Yeah, one-on-one.
That was Monty Kiffin, Lovey, Herm, they ingrained that in us. In practice, if 2 guys wasn't getting touched, we was running the play again. Like, no one should make a tackle alone. It was just, we were brainwashed that's what we believe. So when I grade myself, I to the highest degree, because that's what I made. Very few times you catch me having big hits. Today, they don't get a chance to practice that as much as we did. And it's killing us. Everything is being governed, and again, rightfully so, to get a healthier game, right? To guys in our position now could live a full, life to the best of his capabilities after having all these car wrecks. I understand it, but that don't mean I have to accept it. Just because you can't practice as a team, there's nothing wrong with you doing something individually. Linebackers, there's nothing wrong with you getting a teammate and you guys walking through tackling an open field. You don't need a coach governing that. You just need 2 willing bodies that want to get better.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them. There's no excuses, no explanations. Yes, the fine system and the physicality has governed the game, but nothing has governed the fact that there's going to be collisions. In some of these open fields, you're literally not grabbing the guy. You're trying to knock him down with your shoulder instead of grabbing and wrapping him up. That is the safest thing to do. And nowadays, runners, especially receivers, they're making investment decisions once you grab them. They going down.
True.
But guess what? You got to grab them. You can't not try to knock them down with a shoulder. Man, as soon as they feel your arms, you feel your palms, man, they going down. Get to the, they going down, man. Get to the next play. I got my 15, got my 12.
Yeah.
They going down. And like back when we played bigger receivers, like we need that extra 2 or 3. They're not doing that anymore. So get back to the art of grabbing, getting very intimate, and bringing them to the ground.
Body on a body.
Yes.
Do you think it's because of lack of guys I just see guys just diving at legs and stuff, and they got their eyes closed. They're not really looking at what they're seeing in the hit. And it's also what you're saying. They're just trying to shoulder tackle.
There's a lot more shoulder tackle.
And I don't know why that's happening. It's got to start earlier, though. You guys, I tell anybody, NFL, we really don't teach. We ain't got time to teach you how to tackle.
Yes.
You got to be on top of that when you show up here, or you ain't gonna stay long.
That's a college thing, though.
I
think that's a college thing. I had a conversation with
high schools.
Yes.
And yes, we're trying to infiltrate from the top down every areas of our game of growth down to high school, whether it's officiating, whether it's coaching, whether it's rules. I commend, the NFL, even their investment in flag, because why are you teaching grabbing? I could work with that because that grabbing a flag is going to work in grabbing a jersey. Grabbing a pant leg is grabbing something you're back used to the art of tackling, even in flag. You're doing it. So I commend them in doing it, but we just got to continue to educate that. Us former players that are getting involved in coaching in the youth leagues, we know better. Equip us with these techniques, these rules to help, because these kids are going to listen to us because they're trying to get where we were. So our word is going to carry more, whether we like it or not. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So let's embrace that.
Yeah.
So
I see that that pin you got on your left lapel.
Oh,
that's kind of cool. You got one of those kind of those pins? No,
I do not.
You do not? Oh, Mr. Brooks, can you explain to Mr. Harper what that pin is, sir? Please
explain to me. I know what it is. But.
Nah, please do.
I figured you would be able to.
It looks good on you, sir. Can you please explain what that pin is?
This is the Walter Payton Man of the Year lapel, and I was blessed enough to be awarded this the first year that they renamed it after Mr. Payton.
Yeah.
In 2000. So I didn't know at the time, 25 years later, the impact of, the NFL Man of the Year to the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year, what those two words in front of that would mean. I didn't grasp it in the year 2000 because I was so busy with my foundation and youth work in Tampa of educating these kids and getting them out of the projects, just wanted, I'm diving into youth education. Okay, this is a recognition that's going to help me do more. So be it. But as I matured over the years, I started to understand what he meant to this game.
Yeah.
In terms of service beyond the game. I grasped it, unfortunately, probably 2009 after I retired. And it's like, people started, we really appreciate what you did off the field more than you did on the field.
Yeah.
Those were things I was hearing around this country in terms of Derrick Brooks. And that's where I actually talked to Jared Payton. And I say, you know what, Jared, to be the first one to win this award, and obviously you know what Mr. Payton means in Chicago, I will carry your family's name with more honor now that I'm retired, more than I did when I played. I said I owe that to your family. That when Walter Payton Man of the Year, my name is mentioned, it's with the highest level of service possible.
Yeah.
And I told him that. And that's what it means to me.
Yeah, I didn't even know you won it the first year that they had renamed it or put his name in front of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
So you got, as we say, the young kids say, I'm gonna give you your flowers. So you, 14 amazing years, Pro Bowls, All Pro, NFL Hall of Fame, top 100 players, Man of the Year, all the foundational, charitable stuff that you do off the field.
You also built a high school.
You built a high school.
Yes.
Shout out to Barlows.
Yes.
Like you've done amazing. You
100% graduation rate.
100% graduation rate. Throw that in there.
Derrick love the kid.
If you had to have a personal Mount Rushmore of 4 people that have helped you become you today,
Oh, man.
who would those 4 people be?
Wow.
On the field, off the field?
Man, well, I'm gonna just obviously I'm gonna say this name not as a Mount Rushmore, but just my foundational, being obviously my faith in my service, my relationship with God.
Okay.
That's obviously nothing to compare to that. I think of my family. It'll be a combination of my stepdad and my mom. One thing my stepdad did that changed my life was he whooped me in front of my 5th grade class. Spencer Bibbs Elementary, 2nd floor, room 205, Miss Katie Lett was the teacher. 1985, February the 9th. Remember the date. The guy that tripped me when I was running, he had on brown socks. Yes, I'm still looking for that dude. But I was being a class clown. He came up to the school. He whooped me right in front of my class and said, I'll show you how to get last for a lifetime, but you won't get paid. And he did it, got home that night, told me, you're taking a gift that God gave you in terms of being academically blessed, and you're abusing it by making fun of others. Why don't you be an asset, son? Help kids that's not as smart as you instead of being a distraction. Why don't you help them? He never disciplined me again. So definitely had to put him and my mom, the enforcer. Now, my mom would have told me that, I'd have believed her 1,000%. Not my dad. He's always working. He ain't got no. My mom said it. Hey, straighten up, you for real.
Yeah.
So just had to put. I was my parents. The next person I would say is 2 coaches. Had to be Coach Bowden and Coach Dungy as my 2 and 3. Just from the standpoint of faith, family, football, and to see the way that Coach Bowden did it, all different diversities of backgrounds.
Yeah.
He was solid, man. Every Friday night, building into us as men. He gave his own chapel with every one of his teams every Friday night. And it was so unique because he would take a game plan point and have a biblical story behind it.
Yeah.
Going to us that Saturday to win every Friday night. And it was just him and the team. No coaches, no trainers. Like he said, just me and my men. This is my time with them. Nobody else. And Coach Dungy, when he got to Tampa, really gave me a direction for where I need to channel my gifts of God. When he said, we will be a team that never loses a game because we'll be a team that's playing the game of life. And he will be a coach that coached a team that this community would be proud of by how we serve it, not by how many games we win on the football field. Those things will take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And when Coach gave that speech in front of the team, man, I was like, who is this dude, man? We just lost 12 games last year. You come in here talking about the community. They want us to win. Come on, man.
That's a great point, though.
Yeah, like, who is this dude? No wonder nobody has hired him as a head coach. This was me in 1996. I'm sitting there like, man, I lost 12 games. I ain't lost 12 games and since I'm playing football since I was 8. He talking about the community. Community want a winner. They got bags on their heads around here, man.
Yeah.
That was my attitude.
Right.
First team meeting. I love to hear him tell the story because he tells how I was sitting there and he said I was looking at him crazy. Like, so I look at Sap look at me like, who? I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm like, I'm gonna go talk to him. And I did. Walked in his office. We went to first practice, walked in his office, like, hey, coach, with all due respect, man, I lost 12 games. This community want a winner. You never thought about winning. The community, okay, but what about, he said, Derrick, I was expecting this conversation about how you was reacting. Let me explain to you. We talking about the game of life. That's what God has in store for us. We serving people.
Yeah.
We just using football. The game of life doesn't keep score because God doesn't keep score. We'll never lose a game if we play the game of life. We're going to prepare all the football things. We're going to be accountable. Those things will take care of themselves. But we have to start here, how we're going to serve. And the light went off. I got it, coach. So he would be there. And probably the fourth had to be my wife, Carol. Man, this lady has known me since we were 9 years old. Spencer Bibbs, where I met her. Been a class clown. She'll tell us she couldn't stand me when we were younger. She said I was the most irresponsible, disrespectful. She hated me because I made life miserable for everybody. But she's known me my entire life. And to say that, for her to be solid, man, sixth grade, I looked at it, that's my wife. I'm going to make sure of that. But she made me work for it too, man. Back in my day, you had to write the little letter. Hey, when you go out with me, you stay there. Didn't get no answer till we got in high school. It was like, yeah, you can take my books to class. Then I show up around the corner, man, her three friends. I got to take all their books to class.
See how bad you want it.
Yes. Hey, take it to the movie. Sure. Man, I show up to the movie, them same three friends there. Like, all right, y'all ain't getting on the drink. She can get some popcorn. Y'all get in the movie. They went and watched the movie. I ain't have enough to get my own ticket.
She definitely made you work for it.
Waiting on them on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, man, but in all seriousness, she would be that fourth one.
I like that.
I do, man.
That's
Well,
good.
Derrick, man, thanks, man. And I love this story you share with Coach Dungy as well. It's almost the same things I try to talk to my kids and especially my son about is that, and Coach Dungy, more words than not, is just saying it's like, if you do the right thing for the right reasons, not when you want to or when it feels right, but all the time, usually good things will follow that.
Yes.
That's what he's just trying to say. This is the baseline of where we're at. When nobody else is watching, we're just going to be doing the right thing. And then God in time is going to take care of everything else for you. And so you are a walking testament to that. So I appreciate it, man. Thanks for pouring out to us, man. It's been great. Finally getting to meet you, and I've seen you met you before,
yes.
but in this role, in this,
I was a team.
in this chapter in your life, man, you're wearing it well, brother.
Well, thank you, number 41. You keep doing your thing, man. It's you guys are truly a testament to preparing for life after football and being proud of that transition. And I really, really hope that we continue to have platforms to share with the men that's playing this game now, that don't understand all the ramifications of what owning content, being in the media, how do you leverage this to when no one cares about what you're doing every single day, they care about what you do and what you get. And you guys can and will continue to show them about how you guys carry yourselves, man, in front of these cameras. And again, as someone that's watching it all, I appreciate that. And again, please continue to maximize your platform, because probably more of these young players are watching us than we realize. And they tell us that when I'm having these conversations with them. And I just thank God for the platform of a peers officer position, get a chance to dig into those conversations with them. Because as one of them players say, man, I got more resources being on a practice squad than I ever thought I would. He just got fined his first game. He's like, I don't even know what to do with it. But I wouldn't have not have had a chance to talk to that young man. Have you went and talked to the financial service, your sponsorship of your team and their financial services partner, they will be gladly have an opportunity to talk to you. You know, build those relationships outside the locker room. And saw, again, I'm going to protect his name, saw this young man 2 days ago. Thank me. He has a trust set up, insurance policies, a budget. Yeah. All these conversations happen from a young man getting fined. Now he feels he's got his foot, and he's a major contributor for his team now.
That's dope. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, we thank you for coming on the pod. I feel like we should take a collection. I feel like I was in church. Just a collection for this guy. That was awesome.
Yeah, and not only that, but Mr. Derrick, you also one of the few brothers that, you know, got the great waves, just about like your boy does.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See,
you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? That's what I teach McFarland, man. I hit McFarland all the time, man. I say, man, we do great wave brothers.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying?
The Wave Brothers.
Great wave brothers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We appreciate you coming on.
Oh, man.